Hello, everybody, and welcome to a new game called the Fermi Paradox. This is a very cool game, and I'm very excited to get started. So, we're gonna start a new game, and as you can see, I've already played a couple games before, and it's a really cool game. So, let's just get right into it. I'll explain what the game is about in a bit. So, the Fermi Paradox is basically the question, where are all the aliens? So in this game we get to play as god or a god, and we can help influence the decisions of various other civilizations that arise in the galaxy. Eventually, when the civilizations become technologically advanced, they can send spaceships and potentially meet other civilizations, and they can choose to fight, or they can choose to like mutual enlightenment. So you are the galactic gardener. I have already played the tutorial, so I don't require it. Let's start a new game. So we have these synthesis points, what we which is kind of like our influence. So we can collect them through events, and also those things like synthesis points. So now we have a sapient life has evolved on Glacier C. A new civilization is born. Feel free to pause, and I won't be reading every single thing, but in the beginning at least I will try to read everything. Okay, so let's take a look at the species. The balanced species are the prudent. The prudent, peaceful observers. These gentle herds of four-eyed horse-like humanoids roam the wild rock deserts. Okay, then we have the Rao, aggressive and solitary. These natural armored creatures inhabit barren wastelands. Okay, and then the Khar, always hungry and merciless. These nightmarish avian creatures rule the sky. They are all very cool choices. I think we'll go with the unbalanced species, the Khar. We'll try to have 3 species in total. You can go for the balanced species, standard species, and one unbalanced species. Hmm. Sure. Let's go with the car first, and it will also give us 20 synthesis points. So now we have 73 synthesis, and we can, as you can see, those buttons do specific stuff. And now we have a development event. Extinction already. Wow. Okay, this is very fast. Let's take a look. The rise of beasts. Aggressive predatory beasts on Glacier C savagely attack their intelligent tool-making neighbors. These creatures target settlements and replicate fast, jeopardizing the survival of the car. Okay, we can go for close call. The car react quickly and defend their settlements by building complicated traps for the predators. Minimal survivors. The predators are horrific menace to the car. Many settlements fall and the survivors flee to remote islands where the beasts cannot reach them. Extinction. The car are no match against the monstrous animals. Younglings are eaten in the night, and hunters are overpowered by sheer numbers. After only a few generations, the car are completely extinct. We will go for minimal survivors. As you can see, our population has reduced from 1.2 million to only to only about 87,000, and our growth has been stunted. So it's really good to get some population. But if you also saw the number of resources that we had have also increased because the population has decreased. We will also try to get utopic. We can also take a look at our history over here. Let's increase their population now. Now they are no longer the car, they are the prey. Okay, let's take a look. The fruits of the gods. Travelers into the untouched land regions of Glias Sea encounter enormous trees of strange and fascinating shapes. These trees carry delicious fruits of extraordinary flavors. Their great size and abundance inspire a deep awe among the primitive prey. We can go for cultural ascent. The tribes of the Gliese cultivate a deep reverence for the trees, declaring them sacred. The holy trees inspire a rigorous system of ethics that prioritizes the values of all forms of life and the preservation of the sacred land regions where they grow. Then we have cultural expansion. The fruits of the trees are exceptionally nutritious, and the wood proves to be an excellent building material. The prey soon uses these valuable new resources to expand their range and refuge islands. The fruits, and we have cultural descent. The fruits and woods of the trees are proven to be exceptionally valuable, but it is a scarce resource. Infighting breaks out for control of the trees, rapidly escalating until a group of jealous chieftains sets the last orchard on fire to prevent the rival gangs from gaining control. I think we're going to go for cultural ascent. So let's do that. Nice. As you can see, our dystopia level has become only 13%. So we have drastically reduced our dystopia. And I think we'll continue to do that. Whenever I get bad options, I always come zoom out over here to get better options. Injustice in Glias. The Nightmare Children. The prey come to believe that nightmares are messages sent by mighty spirits. In order to receive more such sacred messages, some prey have begun deliberately traumatizing their young by placing them in disturbing and dangerous situations to encourage nightmares. That's not fun. Yeah, we're going to go for prevention, but let's read all of them. Shortly after the practice begins, it becomes clear that the traumatized children experience several mental health issues, some even turning psychotic and violent. Concerned storytellers soon put an end to this cruelty. While a few are able to endure traumatizing their own children, the belief of sacred nightmares endures. A select few children are chosen every generation to become the Night Talkers, which undergo horrific upbringings to fulfill their sacred roles. The practice of traumatizing their own young becomes widespread among the prey, who refuse to shame who are shamed by their peers for denying those who refuse are shamed by their peers for denying the sacred touch of the sacred groves. The deep psychological scars of such universal trauma alter the culture forever. We're going to go for prevention. And we have another evolution event. I wonder where they are. So this is Glias. This is Vex. That's another place that life can potentially come. We have Sol here, Rigel here, and Tau Ceti here. Okay, let's take a look. In the Rigel system. Nice. a new civilization is born. Okay, let's take a look from this order. The Dolot, sentient and resilient plants. They dwell under the ice and trap other organisms for nutrients. The Kular, aggressive humanoid pig creatures wandering the ice plains primarily to compete with others of their own kin. And the Esh, rational species of furry fish creatures with very complex swarm behavior. I think we're going to go with the Kular because we already got one unbalanced species. Let's go for the standard species. So let's go for Kular. So first off, we can actually see a bunch of differences. The car started out with 20 dystopia. So they were a dystopic civilization when they first started out. And the ethics of the Kular are neutral. They are not dystopic nor utopic. Their growth rate is 6 while the car was 12, and they have more resources than the car originally had. There are many things like that. Depopulation increase, solitary wanderers. The prey tend to avoid settlements and instead roam on the surface of glaciers alone. They rarely meet each other and mate infrequently. Offspring are sent away as soon as they reach adolescence. We can prevent loneliness overcomes the prey, so they reject the solitary lifestyle to once again band together in clans. Many prey prefer to be alone. Surviving and caring for offspring is much harder for these loners, so population numbers start to decline. The urge to wander alone is overwhelming. All tribes and settlements are disbanded, and only prey and the prey only meet other members of their own species once or twice in their lives. I think we're going to just go with prevention. Cost 10, but that's fine. Let's take a look over here now. This reduces the number of potential casualties. So, not really necessary, and this would increase the number of potential casualties, decrease the number of resources. So if you do that, you can see that it increases it. Powering Rigel. Beast Riders. The Kular attempt to tame ferocious and menacing beasts, which roam the wilderness of Rigel 7 for military purposes, riding them into battle as way to frighten and maim their enemies. Okay, we got the Kular Horde. Okay, we can go for Prevention, which is always pretty good. Prevention. The creatures are too dangerous and cannot be tamed. They appear to kill indiscriminately, emboweling their would-be masters and generally running amok. The Hula gradually build trust with the wild animals by feeding and caring for them. The beasts in turn cooperate with their riders and bravely marching into war when necessary. The Kula shamans preach for the need to dominate the beasts since the threat of their enemies doing so remains an open possibility. The creatures are treated cruelly to make them even more ferocious. I think we're going to just go with prevention. Prevention being free is probably the best option. So so in Rigel, they never were able to tame animals, and so pets aren't really a thing. The population of the car seems to be increasing at a pretty good rate. Enlightenment in Glace. The mirage of sacred groves. Mirage of the mirages of the deserts are seen as divine visions, a sign from the sacred groves. New religious practice begins, interpreting the mirages and using them to gain insight into the thoughts, feelings of the viewer. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, dead end. Troubled prey begin to follow the mirages into the desert, searching for enlightenment. Most only find death. A caste of seers emerge. Only they have the proper training and discipline to find insight in the shifting vision. The prey tap deep into their subconscious by interpreting the mirages of the desert. They gain a new understanding of their own souls. I think um, civilization pillar, because it's a pretty good thing and it also goes with the Grove story. So even though it costs a lot, I think it's worth it. So let's do that. They came to revere the mirages of the desert. They learned to analyze their own reactions to these visions, recognizing them as reflections of their own beliefs, fears, and hopes. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. So interesting. The Kola were the first to reach the next age. They've reached the excavation age. As you can see, they have now clothes. Let's go with advancement. Knowledge and Glias. The flow of the hourglass. Grove shamans learn to create an elaborate hourglass-like structures that use the flow of sand to solve complex puzzles. These glass marbles have incredible potential and function as the most primitive computers for those who unlock their secrets. Hmm. The devices are beautiful and excellent for keeping time, but too imprecise to be used for calculations. Sand glasses require a rare type of very fine sand that for their precise measurements. Only few wealthy tribes can afford to provide these grove shamans with necessary materials. And that, unfortunately, is not an option. Yeah, we'll just go with regular development then. The car have come a long way. They have reached the copper age. I think we're going to go with advancement here too. Reduction in Rigel. The Great Gardens. Great gardens are seen as an essential part of any healthy society. Every ice hollow on Rigel C7 is now surrounded by extended beauty garden structures. Only very wealthy can afford to adore their palaces with gardens. On the upside, this results in garden designing becoming revered, a highly revered art form. Lots of water is diverted to fuel the abundant gardens, which takes precedence over fertile farmland. Several generations later, the Kula suffer heavily due to unstable fields and dried up rivers. Yeah, we're going to go for civilization pillar because it's free. A great war threatens Glias. The invasion horde. The first realm surrenders peacefully to the horde, abandoning their barbarian base. The invasion horde costs many lives among the prey. After smashing down every kingdom, the horde turns against itself. Riders fragment into smaller armies for infighting. I think we're going to go with regular conflict. The lands of Glias were once plundered and pillaged by barbarian hordes. As a result, the prey trained up strong armies in order to prepare for future invasions. We have another evolution event, and now it's on Tau Ceti. A new civilization is born. Okay, so let's take a look. We have the Maru, sneaky, sightless, and cruel. These bands of small raptors plague the vast jungles. The Ode, aggressive ape creatures in colorful fur. They traverse the mountainous regions with ease. And the Rama, these tall, intelligent plant creatures undergo countless stages in their centuries long life cycle. Yes, as promised, we're going to go with the balanced species this time. The Rama. So now, if you take a look, they have 20 utopia but zero growth, and they have a bunch of resources. So probably focusing on them for a while to increase their growth is a good idea. Growth in Rigel, ancient medicine. The Kula have gathered detailed knowledge about their bodies over the centuries and are able to create potent medicines to cure many diseases and wounds. The new medical ideas and treatments represent further efforts of understanding and control the forces of nature as their civilization advances. Okay, we can go for civilization pillar. The Kula realize that clean water is the secret to a healthy population. Healers are therefore ordained the ritual purification of drinking supplies to save countless lives. Shamanic doctors decree that diet is medicine and prescribes a mother of herbs and potions with aim of improving patients' health. And elders proclaim illness is caused by pride, laziness, prevention, prevent, perverted spirits are said to possess parts of the body and turn the blood sour when these sins are committed. Even though I would like to go for cultural civilization, I think it is better to go with dead end. This is another choice because we require synthesis points. We require it. So we're going to go for dead end. So we require those synthesis points because anything could go wrong somewhere else. We have another extinction event on Ilias. Volcanic catastrophe. The prey instinctively settle away from volcanic environment. Eruptions destroy most of the settlements. The prey are helpless against climate effect of the volcanic outbursts. We're going to go with minimal survivors again. We can make it out. Increase their population. And the Rama have reached a new technological age. The cultivation age. We are going to go with wisdom. Advancement would be better, but wisdom is always best. Okay, the Kula kingdoms. Consumption on Raiju. The House of Bones. A powerful ruler begins a bold new project of massive palace built out of bones and highly priced ice ducks. Great bony. So it's basically Game of Thrones. Okay. I think probably prevention is better for this. The lineage of rulers evolves into an influential dynasty. With each generation, the bone palace grows larger. A massive palace of tusks and bones rise, the ruling home of the most powerful kingdom on Rigel 7. A season of terrible storms wipe out multiple hunting parties, and it's decided that the gods do not approve of the wasteful practice. Yeah, I think that's the best. You can also see them on the crabs now. Oh, finally. increase their population. Wow, the Kular are really going like really advancing. Many texts are collected in the great libraries, metal skates. I think we need some power action. Ooh, let's take a look at our burnt cousins. Burnt territories. Power in Glaciers. Mounted hordes. The riders of burnt roam they band together in great hordes. Wow. Okay, we are telling a great story with them. Riders can't work together and hordes quickly disband. The mountain hordes turn into foes to be reckoned with. The horde riders dominate the society. Their civilization is composed by mighty war who serve them. This is a really cool comeback. We have to go for it. We have to. Nomadic burned were organized in great hordes. They rarely stayed long in one place and they were master riders. Yes. That is a great option. If there is a huge war, we are kind of... well, that's a risk. But we can like see how society has changed. Great War threatens Tau Ceti, War of the City-States. Fearless negotiations were able to calm down. After a century of battle, one city-state dominates the other. War cannot be won, both city-states. I think we'll just go with a regular conflict. Yeah. I mean, our population did take a hit, but I think we can actually come out of it fast. Let's go with wisdom. The great libraries. To unify the lore of the Kular, the vast libraries are made open to all. Visiting scholars bring rare books from their homelands. It's restricted. I will go with Civilization Pillar. We have reached the pollination age. And now we can go for advancement. Get back on the growth. Development event. Growth in Glias. Trading caravans. As the Burn developed into a civilization of explorers and traders, ideas are circulated along with exotic textiles and spices. Vast caravan networks allow spies to relay information. Major trade routes are blocked. I don't think we require more growth, so we're gonna go with dead end. Yeah. Okay, the Kula have advanced again. I think we're going to go with advancement. Enlightenment. All embracing roots. I mean, 20 synthesis points isn't that much, and this is also a really cool concept. Paradigm shift. The fertility geyser. After an earthquake, a massive geyser is thrust onto Glias's surface, spewing thousands of liters of water at each time it erupts. These eruptions are cyclic. Every few decades, they begin and turn the surrounding desert into fertile land for several years. The fertile geyser. The fertile lands are declared an area of peace that belongs to no realm. Many dune islands are built near the geyser, clever water captures and storage systems. Many realms, but none can hold strategic. As a result, standoff, no one dares occupy the. I think we're going to go with cultural ascent. Reason is, I don't want to use my resources. I know it's 60, but that's the reason why we save up the synthesis. Also kind of makes sense because now the land are ruled by chieftains rather than civilized people till the dune ship age. Construction of new lands and peoples inspired the Burnt to re-examine both social and scientific principles. Exploration. I think we'll just go with regular. I think we'll go with power. So the telegraphic network. I think we'll just go with regular development. Reduce the population a bit. Oh, come on, really? For hygiene? No, let's go with completely unhygienic route. And now we can increase the population like this. Increase the science and increase the population. Wow, the Kula have reached the industrial age. They're really going pretty fast. Yes, we're going to go with wisdom because it's free. Wisdom in this industrial age is very, very, very rare. I've never got it. I think this is probably my third time getting it. Like I have got it, but been very rare. Injustice, sand torture. Oof. Many burnt at outrage when they learn. These eaches justify the practice by saying that it is only used in extreme situations. Practice. I think we're going to go with regular development. Yeah, sorry. And they have also reached the industrial age. I think we'll go with wisdom because it's very cheap. Also, you can hear that change in music. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Consumption. Hunting guilds. Due to sophisticated traps and bows, the hunting of wild animals become much easier. I think we're going to go with Okay, so the cooler are trying to send jazz music. Okay, let's see how much it costs. Yeah, I think we're gonna go with silence, sadly. 30, I don't have. I can't risk it because the industrial era is a very unique era because the species can wipe themselves out. So I'm going to actually hold on the jazz music, sadly. But it's for their own good. You never know when you'll need them. Wow, the burnt surpassed the cooler very fast. I mean, let's go with power then. Burnt empires, cause that's funny. Okay, the cooler have reached the nuclear age. I think let's just go with advancement for them. Paradigm shift in Tau Ceti. Swamp gas. We'll definitely go with cultural expansion. We need that population boost. Like, we needed that population boost like yesterday. Yes, wisdom. I think it's about time that I end the video. Probably make it a hour long video then. The Burnt have started building spaceships. Nuclear arc. Always go with epic project because always go with regular project because epic projects the resources never last that long. So the Burnt are the first to reach out into space. The car. Let's reduce the population. I think this is actually a good time to leave the video because we have another revolution event. I don't know where it's going to be, and neither do you. So see you all in the next video, and thanks for watching.